Welcome back, and now I am about to invade Japan, or at least try to invade Japan, though I feel like that's not going to work. I'm still going to try, though nonetheless. I do have a bit of a plan. Nagasaki over here is the main port in Kyushu, and I feel like the best way to go about it is to invade this province, which separates Nagasaki from the rest of Japan, or rather, yeah, from the rest of the island. So I'm going to try to do that, and yes, they've called in Japan to the reclamation. Now, I really wonder how the air battle is going to go, because the Japanese are supposed to have an air force, and actually, there it is. The air force is pretty much not where I'd expect it to be. Honestly, if their air force is over here, that's good, because I don't really give a shit. I'm mostly caring about attacking them rather than defending me. I really don't see how their fighters being over my land really causes any problems. And they're gonna shuffle around some troops, and hopefully that's not going to be too bad for us. I've got a submarine here to scout, and that's gonna be pretty decent. We're gonna have the second invasion force from over here. I built a second port over here just to have an extra bit of... Are those my troop convoys? I hope not. Okay, good. They don't appear to be my troop convoys, or rather, even if they were, they weren't attacked. So they do have some troops over here. Actually, artillery brigades and mechanized infantry aren't too big of a... Is it empty? I see the port being empty, and if it is empty, then that's going to be incredibly good for me. It does appear to be empty, actually. So I'm going to spread out and have a few of my divisions attack in different directions, because I want as much sort of a shock value as possible. I want to take the airfield also, because that's going to be great. It's going to reduce the sort of effectiveness of the Japanese Air Force around here, which is pretty much the main thing I'm looking to do. And then it's also going to allow me to drop in aircraft to be closer to the enemy, although for now we don't really need that, because again, this is Millennium Dawn, so we have a pretty damn good... they're attacking me at the airfield, and that's not very good. We have a pretty good level of, in general, defense against this kind of stuff. So I'll now start to ship in troops, now we do have a port, because having that port is going to be excellent. We do have 30 supply available. Now, we are using 3.04, and by shipping in one guard division, we're going to be adding 2.5 to that, so 5.6. So we have still about 24.5 supply that we can use. And every armor division is 5, every infantry division is 4. So how about we ship in... we can ship in 2 armor divisions and 5 infantry divisions. At least as a start. What I would also like to do is improve my supply throughput over here. So I'm not exactly sure as to how that would be. So local naval base limits to 15. So really I'd have to upgrade Nagasaki. And I'm gonna make that my top priority. If I can find the port. There we go. Actually, I need to repair it first, which is going to increase my supply even further. So we have managed to seal off the area. There's actually only 2 artillery brigades securing the opposite end of the strait, so we're gonna actually just push through with our marines. I've also got a secondary army trying to naval invade, of marines of course, trying to naval invade over here, but that's not going to be needed anymore, so I'm going to redeploy them and have, or rather, yeah, redirect them and have them attack this naval base, because if I can take Osaka and I can take this naval base, then we cut Japan in 2 pretty much. And we do have some Japanese and our troops being attacked in this area, so I will redirect my aircraft over here and redirect them all to the East China Sea, or, well, not really sure what. Sea of Japan, right. This is the East China Sea, this is the Sea of Japan. I'll redirect my naval bombers over here to help out defending my convoys against the menace of enemy aircraft and ships trying to attack me. Now, there is a small little Japanese island over here, but I don't really give a shit about it. Another thing I could do is have... I'm pretty sure I have a training marine division over here. I'm going to give it a new commander. Actually, I already have a commander. Xia Peng. And I'm going to have them prepare a naval invasion of the Senkaku Islands. If that is even possible. I'm not sure it is, actually. It should be. It doesn't really seem all too intent on it. Let's try it again. This is not a valid province for an invasion. Oops. I feel like I fucked something up. Oh well. Yeah, okay. I've got a better idea. I'm gonna get these divisions plus the marine. Why can I not? A single invasion order. Yeah, but there are no invasion orders from this port. It doesn't. Okay, so if I do it from China, then it allows me. That makes absolutely no sense, but I'll roll with it. So we're getting our troops across, and that's gonna be great. However, there's nothing protecting our flanks over here, and that's not good. We're gonna try to punch through over here just to avoid them taking advantage of the fact that I left myself an exposed flank. We're taking a lot of damage, of course, because we're trying to cross through very, very hostile waters. But thankfully, the biggest part of our mechanized army has managed to make it across. Now we're going to have our Marines and, yeah, in general, our Marines work towards clearing Kyushu of enemy forces and sealing off Shikoku over here, whereas our mechanized troops are much more suited to the open, or rather the semi-open country of central Japan. And so in central Japan, we're going to have our main force advancing, trying to take as much territory as possible. So there is a huge amount of Japanese divisions over here. That's where we're going to stop, at least for now. Don't want to deal with those 15 engineer brigades, etc. I really, really don't want to have any problems with that. Now let's check out the air war. Looks like the Japanese Air Force has realized that they're not really doing all that well over here. We are taking a lot of damage, it seems, to our bombers. So 17 of our bombers have been disrupted. We've lost a huge amount of fighters, but they have lost even more. So it looks like the Japanese Air Force tried to pull back to protect their home islands, but they lost the Battle of Japan. And so now we need to actually replenish our air force as much as possible, because we lost a huge amount of aircraft. And they lost more, but they've got more to replace them with. So we need to actually have that be our main priority, at least for now. So, really? We cannot... Oh, okay. So we can attack these Japanese troops. Looks like the engineer brigades aren't really too effective in combat because they are very small motorized divisions. But there are some armored brigades coming in, and that would not be too great of a thing for us. Now, we have our air support coming in, and that's going to help our Marines be really resilient on the defense. And our mechanized troops are going to be even worse for that. Now, looks like we have about half of the port's supply filled up, so we're going to send in 5 more infantry divisions and 2 more armor divisions. We're going to send them to Nagasaki. Oh, actually, I've selected an extra armor division from here. So I'm going to take you. And I'm going to use these to clear out Kyushu because they have managed to ship a lot of divisions over here, probably through Shikoku. And so clearing that out is going to be very good for us. I feel like the best way to do that is to take this province, because that's connecting them to the mainland and also to supplies. So I'm going to have most of my divisions be on this province. And then when I'm going to make my assault, I'm really scared to actually put a front line up, because I feel like that is going to make the AI go insane, but I'll try it anyway, because I really need the extra sort of juice that the planning bonus provides. So my other Marines are starting to make their planning. Okay, so this one is done, and this one needs a few of the divisions to actually get there. This guy's still an idiot. Okay. Good. That should be fine. I really hope that the AI doesn't start to redeploy divisions out of just random corners of the world over here, but that doesn't appear to be the case, which is great. Let's try. Okay, that seems pretty easy so far. Doesn't look like their units are really putting up too much of a fight. We're gonna keep our Marines back just to make sure that they don't do anything stupid. So we have the area protected, and actually looks like the road for, or rather the sea invasion route for Shikoku is clear. So I'll send through my armor and a few of my infantry divisions as well. And then I'll try to get as much territory as possible while they're still sort of stunned by that. We're gonna continue the invasion down south. They should be out of supplies right now, but I'm not too sure about that. Here they actually have their armored divisions, and that's not good, because their armored divisions are pretty much their main fighting tools. So we're gonna have to... Yep, as you can see, the AI already starting to become a little bit of a dork, sending back troops for no real reason. Now, over here, they are kind of setting themselves up for an encirclement, because the flank of these 8 mechanized divisions is very, very open. I'm going to purposefully retreat and let these guys get in, and then I'm going to have my armored coming from the flank. Now, we're going to need to wait for these guys to be... I need to wait for these guys to be out of that province. And they are. So now we can have our armor coming from the flank, and the flank as well. And hopefully that is going to be an encirclement. Now, some extra infantry tech is going to be good, however, I'm not really sure as to what I could do right now. I can probably just research the strategic bomber, even though I'm not going to use it. Okay, so looks like... Okay, so we've got the area under control, and we're gonna have the armor secure the flanks of the breakthrough so that they cannot come in from these land bridges. And so now that they're pretty safely surrounded, I'm also going to try to just keep them bottled in and eventually defeat them. Now over here, I've made a bit of a mistake. I've forgotten about this sort of squad, and I don't really have any areas over here controlled. However, since they are... Oh boy, I see a problem. So there's a naval invasion happening, and yep, I need to have a division guarding Nagasaki, because for some reason the divisions that I had there were not really... Looks like the division that I was actually sending down to Nagasaki got in some way destroyed, probably by enemy naval action, so I'm gonna have to not have that be a thing. Now, since they sent all these divisions over here, it looks like they sent them in from the Hiroshima area, and that's good, because that's going to allow me to push in the Hiroshima area pretty significantly, since these forces are pretty weak. So I'm gonna keep one mechanized division over here, and get another mechanized division to just work around the top of the area. We've surrounded and overrun a few of their troops. I'm gonna get my divisions down here, fight their way through onto central Japan. We're gonna capture the airfield over here. These guys should be pretty easy to destroy by an attack from my Marines. Good, so Hiroshima is ours. And then we can have our Marines push on through along with our armored. divisions. These 2 armored divisions I'm gonna redeploy up north, where we have a breakthrough going, and they're going to assist in the encirclement of all these Japanese forces. The AI is really, really bad at fighting in Japan. Oh, it looks like the naval invasion was actually in Korea. Well, we're gonna get our mechanized reserve that we have just for this occasion to work into the area. We may be able to just have these guys finish them off at the beach, which could be pretty good. So their invasion was successfully defeated, and that was a lot of forces that they would need over here to repel my troops that are invading their country, so that's great. Now, our naval planning, see, it is complete, however, still over here we don't have naval supremacy. Since we have the air superiority? No, we don't. That's 1,300 enemy fighters. I'm not sure as to where they came from, but I feel like that is a pretty telling little development. They're not gonna let me have air superiority. Okay. Probably Americans. I'm just gonna go out and say that that's probably an American fighter group. Although it could be Japanese as well. I feel like both are really possibilities. We're still gonna have to be sort of keeping our aircraft away from that area though, because that's not something we can fight right now. That's not exactly in my planning. However, since we've got our superior army on the ground in Japan, I feel like we can avoid the worst of the consequences of that. Now, these are 6 artillery brigades, which are very weak, of course, so we can easily come in and encircle these 4 enemy divisions. And I'm going to finish them off with an attack from 2 sides. Still have some naval fighting going on. These guys are just being starved out, and they cannot be easily taken out from a direct assault because, as you can see, they are there's a lot of enemy troops there, so I'm going to have to be waiting on that now. I'm going to also keep a Marine division in Hiroshima because, of course, I don't really want the enemy to have the ability to easily come in and take it. I want to garrison all my ports in Japan. This northern area is very weak, and over here there's only anti-aircraft artillery brigades, so they are very weak units. Missing equipment, mechanized. Oh really? Would you say that? I'm not sure. Here it says that we are producing mechanized, so I'm not really sure. And we've also got 5,000 in reserve, so I don't really give a shit either way. Naval combat. Okay, so down here, we're starting to have a little bit of a success in getting these guys to starve, and also these guys. But we still have the mainland Japan problem. Now, how much supply do we have available? Looks like about half more, at least. And, well, that's good. That's not that great. We're gonna get some armored divisions that we've got over here. I'm gonna get half of them. So 4 armored divisions, and then half of these mechanized infantry divisions. Hopefully they will not be in any way destroyed by American ships, or Japanese ships for that matter. So we're getting them over here. This is a fleet. Yep, that is a fleet. So we're gonna get everyone except 1 infantry division. And I'm gonna get them over here to this main plan. Then I'm also going to edit this main plan to have a secondary phase. Like this. Just in case we actually manage to reach this area. Now we do have a lot of Japanese troops, and they have actually got a plan going to attack us. So I'm going to send in reinforcements. Looks like we are able to stop them at least, which is good. However, their numbers are concerning, very concerning. Especially once we free our troops in the south, we will be able to do a lot more. Now, is that a dockyard? Okay, that's a dockyard. See, because it looked like they had built a naval base down here, but that's only a dockyard. Now, their troops down here are sufficiently enough depleted that we can probably just charge through with our marines and finish them off. Taking Kagoshima, or Kagoshima, however you want to say it, and then surrounding all the divisions in this little peninsula pocket and destroying them. So that's also given us some free dockyards, and I'll get them working on probably destroyers would be a good idea. Yeah, we do have a lot of tech for the destroyers, so we can do that. We have overrun a bunch of them, and there they go. So it looks like one of their artillery brigades has managed to escape to this island, but we will not allow them to do that. We're going to get our marines to chase. We're going to get our other troops to move through the north, and we're going to get the mechanized troops to get in the flank. Then we're going to have our marines come in. We probably don't have the ability to cross the strait because of the Japanese fleets that are there, which is a bit of a problem. So we can finally finish off these guys. That's going to be great. Good. Then we can probably come in. No, we cannot. We're just going to have these divisions garrison the straits. Of course, since it's a strait, their divisions are, of course, going to have a huge penalty to fighting us. And we've got some more naval battles. It's our convoys getting smashed, which is nothing surprising. Nothing surprising at all. Then over here we have, actually, we may have a chance to do something. Let me get the last radar. We may have a chance to do something, actually. Okay, I see what I need to do. I need to get everyone except a skeleton crew to abandon this area and attack over here. Then, as soon as they stop counterattacking me, I'm going to force my way through down here, leaving everyone except 3 divisions to hold the fort. And then we can take Osaka. Probably not. Probably not. We could probably not take that hugely garrisoned city, but we can try. Actually, we may have a chance because they were all very heavily disorganized. We're gonna get 2 divisions to help hold the area. Now we've got all these guys surrounded. Great. United States colony, United Kingdom. Okay, so now the United Kingdom is in the war. And we're gonna get these guys to come in and be a garrison to the port, and also to help out with the clearing of the pocket. Now they're trying desperately to get out, but I feel like that's only helping us, because we're going to be able to easily crush it. Then we're going to also get our divisions back onto the plan. And then we can probably make one more huge encirclement down here. And yeah, just really likes to have me encircle his divisions now. I'm gonna get half of the mechanized, and they are gonna be the ones holding Kyoto. I'm guessing that's Kyoto. That's only my Shogun 2 geography speaking, so I'm really not sure as to what city this is. It doesn't look like it's named. So yeah, after getting these divisions encircled and destroyed, I'm gonna end the part. Okay, so we've got the benefit over river over here, and we can probably push even further on. Are you gonna get half of the armored push up like this? I'm gonna get the other half of the armored to push up like this. I'm gonna get half of the infantry to move like that instead. And then that should be enough to hold the area. Yeah, probably should be enough. Okay, so we've got these guys surrounded, and they're going to die like this. We've got a lot more military factories. We'll deal with that later. We've got Kanazawa being a target. We've got this area also being a target. And then looks like after we made our push to Shizuoka, they decided to go somewhere else, but we can probably just rush straight to Tokyo at this point. Actually, what we're going to do, we're going to assign all our guys over here, and we're going to give them manual orders then, because that's not gonna get the AI tripping in any way. Can I get these guys to finish off that peninsula just so it doesn't trigger me in any way? Then we're going to push through like this. And you guys are going to do that, and then get back up here. You guys are going to do that, and then get back up here. Okay, so we've got pretty quick advance coming in east, since most of the Japanese army is surrounded in, I believe this is Yamato, this area. So, yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. Now, we've also got possibility for another pretty big encirclement of 9 armored units. Looks like 6 divisions and 3 brigades, which is excellent news. We're gonna get our other armored to hold the flanks of the encirclement. So there they are, another pocket. And then we are going to box them in. And there's not much data they can do at this point. We're going to continue our naval research, however, we don't really have the capabilities to get that research to be too useful. Now, so how close is Japan to capitulating? Very close. We can probably just keep these troops boxed in and allow my other armor to just take the Sendai city, which is going to be a VP, and that may get the capitulation going. Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. We're going to get the divisions over here to be assigned to this pocket just to guard it. And then you guys are going to do this. We may be able to take Aomori without a fight. Okay, good, because it's an artillery brigade. Yeah, our troops are going to be out of supplies over here because of this mechanized brigade that we've got over here attacking us. So we're going to redeploy an extra mechanized over here. And since they are so quick, these mechanized brigades are pretty much one of the quickest units ever. They're 50 kilometers per day, so they can make pretty good terrain even without any problems. Man, they are so close to capitulation, 99%. That is so very, very close. Actually, we may not be able to capitulate them because we need naval supremacy to cross through the strait. We actually have naval supremacy right now, which is good. However, I'm not sure that's good enough. So we're going to try to rescue our armor division over here. So we've got Japan. Great. Good. Great. Now, in terms of territory and peace deal, I'm going to take the islands. And then I'm gonna leave them the mainland, because they're gonna be my puppet. I'm not sure if they got any more islands, doesn't look like it. This is not World War II Japan. Great. And then after that, I'm gonna puppet them. And turn. We've even got the time to do that, or rather the, whatchamacallit. Not the time, the points to do that, and there they go. So that's our puppet, the Japanese commune, and they're going to be also in our faction, so that means that they're going to help out China as well. And since they are our puppet, we can get their resources for free. However, this is Japan, they don't really have a lot of resources, and we should probably leave a few resources to them so that they can sort of do their stuff as well. Now, next part, we're going to be continuing to fortify our holdings. And after that, we're probably going to go after Southeast Asia, in a way, taking the path of World War II Japan, which is kind of interesting. And so I will see you then to North Korea. Welcome everyone to Hearts of Iron 4, the Legend of Dawn, North Korea. Now, yeah, sorry for the audio in the last 2 parts, however, now it's fixed. It should be, at least. And I actually realized something just while drinking a little bit of tea right now, before starting this part, is that I made a bit of a mistake in wanting to invade Japan first. You know why? Well, because the obvious invasion target is not Japan, it's Southeast Asia, especially specifically Singapore. Singapore have 5 divisions, and they are one country with no diplomatic relations, so I could probably just move a few submarines to protect the trade route where my transports are going to come through, and I could easily invade this. And then if you look at the trade map mode, there's a huge amount of resources over here, and the main problem is, or the only problem is that Malaysia has apparently a pretty large army. So I would have to essentially destroy Malaysia's army, and the best way to do that is to secure a sort of a landing over here in Singapore. So I'm not exactly sure as to why I didn't do that before. However, right now I will go through with the Japan plan while at the same time getting Singapore to be a target, because I feel like that is going to be good. Another possible target that I looked into is Brunei. However, Brunei has a bit of a problem. If you look, they are guaranteed by the United Kingdom, and we are not at war with the United Kingdom yet, which is very interesting. Our war, as you can see, doesn't include the United Kingdom, France, and Germany, so I would like to avoid getting the United Kingdom in the war, if possible. I cannot get them get a non-aggression pact with them, unfortunately, though perhaps there would be a way. I mean, we have a pretty horrible reputation with them, because we are at war with their faction members. We could probably try to improve relations, but I feel like we wouldn't be able to overcome the 25 reluctance of that, because the -50 would give a -5. So they would need to have another modifier, because we can only get to +100 relations, which would be 10. And even that would be hard. And then we would have to probably become trading partners, but that would not be a good idea. That would absolutely not be a good idea, because if we became trading partners with the UK, then our trade routes would go over here and they would be pretty much sunk by the Americans the entire time. So I actually have no clue as to how to avoid getting involved with the UK, but whatever. I guess we'll just have to be sort of subject to the fact that they may get called into the war anytime soon. And it's starting to become laggy-ish. Now, I am sending some submarines over here to actually just scout out a few of the areas, and it looks like they were able to find some convoys, and they may actually get to sink them a little bit. Some Spanish convoys. So we definitely need a lot of resources, and that's a problem. It is the main reason why I want to invade this part of the world, because it's full of resources, and that would help fuel my war machine by quite a bit. I can actually trade with France, which is interesting. Oh, that would be all my factories, though. I don't want to do that. Because after taking over South Korea, of course, we've got a lot more military factories working, but that's going to be a bit of a problem still, because we really lack the resources to actually use those factories in any meaningful way. So we do have quite a bit of infantry equipment and mechanized equipment, however we lack pretty much everything else. Actually, we do have quite a bit of artillery, which is good, and we don't really produce a lot of artillery, so that's also pretty good. We're not wasting our factories on that now. I'm trying to repair all my stuff that was obviously damaged in the invasion. And see, the main problem with invading Japan is also the fact that this is just another Polish convoy. According to my intelligence, which should be pretty accurate considering I've got max level of decryption, they have up to 200 divisions, which is going to mean that it's going to take quite a long time to actually reach a point where I can actually just invade the area and not sort of just fail, which is going to happen soon. Now, that's going to take quite a while to actually get there. So we do have the third advanced rocket engine, which means that we have quite a long range in our rockets, aka 5 kilometers now. I'm going to go for some more production efficiency, which is going to help our industry get through the resource shortages. We're just sinking some Polish convoys. I'm very surprised that the Americans haven't really done anything so far. I mean, they've just sent a few submarines over here. These 20 enemy ships are American submarines, and so yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that they're doing. I'm gonna actually get another submarine over here. I'm gonna get one of the shittier ones, the level 2s, and I'm gonna get him to patrol over here and over here. Because my naval invasion route to go for Japan needs this area to be scouted, and of course I can do that only with a ship in there. Now, also I would really love if my naval bombers were a little bit more effective in bombing the crap out of these submarines that are there, but can't exactly rely on that too much because, again, the Americans may want to do something about it later on, which would not be very good for me. No. Actually, part of that may be because of the naval efficiency, or rather the mission efficiency. It's 80%, so they do have the range to cover that. And for some reason, there's no one actually covering with fighters over here. So now that we do have the air superiority, it should help with that a little bit. And now that we do have also another naval bomber squadron over here, I will try to select that as quickly as possible and getting it to naval strike the enemy. Still air wings and no missions, but I believe that is the transport, so we'll just dismiss that. Still some naval combat down here. Actually, some American divisions are moving somewhere. Not exactly sure as to where. Would not want them in any position where they can sort of disrupt what we're doing. They might try to naval invade me, though that would be a bad idea because all my ports are pretty much garrisoned. These guys can get over here, and I'm not sure what these guys are doing. Oh, right. They're supposedly organizing. Get that. We actually need this division to be a port guard. Still insufficient resources, but that's fine. Also, another reason taking out Singapore would be a good idea is because there's quite a lot of factories in there. It's a 25 state because it's a megalopolis. So, yeah. If we go to Singapore, actually, we can show it to you. Oh no, that's actually a metropolis region, just that since they've researched a lot of techs, and we also have researched a lot of techs, so that's not a problem. And we're starting to pick away at the American submarines around the Sea of Japan. It looks like they actually decided to retreat, and for some insane reason, my patrol is not giving me naval supremacy. Oh, that's because there's also enemy ships. Okay, so let's actually switch my naval bombers over, because I don't want enemy ships in the area. Actually, I could also try to switch over my tactical bombers, my UAVs. No, I think I didn't select something. I selected something else. Oh no, I had, okay, never mind. Naval bombers are doing their work. Actually, no, I don't care about port strikes. Oh, they can only port strike, really? Okay, well, never mind. I thought they could actually naval strike as well. Oops. So I'm actually going to deselect the naval bombers and transport the tactical bombers over here. Should have enough space to hold all those planes. It does. Excellent. And I don't have any more in reserve. And actually I'm going to also select one fighter and bring it over to make sure that there are no bugs happening. The transports are going to stay over here. Ooh, naval combat. Yeah, that's just some random enemy ships coming in. And now that our bombers are going to be working on the Yellow Sea, the enemy ships in the Sea of Japan are going to have pretty much free reign, unfortunately, because we're kind of relying on naval bombers to have an effect. And yeah, that's not exactly the most efficient solution, but it's one that we have to take. So I'm actually going to get all these guys, all these rockets, and select them on Japan. Though, alright, they are still the shitty rockets, so they don't have the range. Unfortunate. Over here we do have a rocket site in construction, however it doesn't look like they are being constructed. Oh yeah, it's because we're still repairing the other buildings, because most of our resources are used on trading. And right now, I'm probably just going to cut it, and I'm going to come back to you when I've got something interesting to show you. So I'll see you then.